the first thing that needs to happen is we need to change the definition of what high value is. Because y'all got high value all messed up. A man that makes 6 figures or more but has nothing else to offer is not high value. That's high earning. And high earning is very different from high value. If you're interested in skipping all of the pleasantries and just getting straight to the point, I have a chapter timestamps listed in the description box below. Feel free to skip this introduction. I'll see you soon. Bro. Welcome to my channel. I am Fronten'a. And today, I'm going to be reading you my audio blog titled, Kevin Samuels is not the authority on high value men. For the written version of this blog, visit me on my website. The link will be listed below. Now, I wasn't going to say nothing, but since y'all brought it up, go ahead and make sure you subscribe. Go on now. I'll wait. Ooh, child, I thought I was gonna have to tell y'all twice. Ooh, and really quick, do y'all remember that one time when I was telling y'all about that one time? Y'all remember that? Well, anyway, to make a long story short, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, okay? Now, let's get into this audio blog. Everybody knows what an internet dating coach is, also known as an internet dating guru, also known as an internet dating expert, also known as a man who was red pill, also known as a man who was from the MAN-MANOSPHERE. And by the way, why are there so many terms anyway? This guy is usually black and usually single. And supposedly, he helps women who are also usually black find a man of high desire, also known as a high value man. This man apparently has the ability to give you a real quick once-over, have you fill out a survey questionnaire of some sort, and then give you a number based on his rating scale that tells you the likelihood of your being able to land a high value man. This scale is based on your attractiveness, income, education, and financial assets. There is also a requirement that you be either like almost a literal child, at least 18 years, I would hope, so that you could have had no intimate partners or have these used lady parts, and we'll keep it PG. You can be a little bit older from what I gather, but I think you still need to be a virgin. You also need to make sure that your uterus is still in working order, but also has never been used, but also can be used, but also is new. Girl, I don't know, but that's what they said. You need to have never been married, I think. You cannot have any children, no matter the circumstance. You need to be beautiful and fit. You need to earn 6 figures yourself. Be very independent and be submissive. You need to understand that your husband is going to cheat, and you need to be okay with that. If you can meet all of these requirements, then maybe, just maybe, you can snag you a high value man. Now, I don't know what requirements a man needs to meet in order to be considered high value. So I had to look into that as well. I looked all up and down these internet streets to find this long list of attributes a man needs to possess to be considered high value. But I could only really find one. I looked up under rocks, bridges, and even up underneath some hood of cars. Girl, when I tell you I looked, child, I looked. But I was disappointed because the only thing I was able to find on what this man needs in order to be high value is that he earns 6 figures. Now, I'm not a follower of Kevin Samuels. I personally go out of my way to avoid his content because it is so highly destructive to Black women. But I felt that if I intended to give a good, fair review of how he moves, I needed to dig deeper so that I could get a really good look into how this man actually moves. And child, I began listening to some of the hate speech he spews out here on Shaka Khan's internet streets, and video after video after video left me mortified. It wasn't so much the words he used when speaking about Black women, as it was the way Black women were responding to the gaslighting, hate-fueled things he was saying. There is video after video of this man saying some of the most vile things to and about Black women. Like literally, people call into some hotline of his to get his opinion of why he thinks the callers are single and if they even qualify to attract a high-value man. He asks about these ladies' salaries, their body types, everything. And then he rates them based on his definition of worthiness and value. I saw one video that really stood out to me. Okay, so this woman calls into his hate line to get the necessary information on how to attract a high-value man. He goes down his checklist so he can determine if she would even qualify to be in a relationship with a high-value man. He asks some very polarizing questions in order to determine her value. You know, the really important questions. Questions like her height, her weight, her age, and whether or not she has had children from a previous relationship, what level of education she has achieved, and what her annual earnings are. Then after having a look at her from about the ribcage up, he tallies up her points, and based on this, and this alone, he determines her worthiness. I didn't hear any questions about her character, what kind of family she grew up in, does she believe in God, does she want more children, and so on. Now, I may have missed one or two of the questions on his "What I Think of You" questionnaire, but for the most part, that's the gist of it. And just for context, the call ended with this woman in tears after he rated her something like a 2, and basically telling her that she should be grateful for whatever kind of man she can get. And see, my question is, why are y'all taking advice from a man like this? How can y'all believe the word of a low-value man on how to find anything at all? Y'all shouldn't even be allowing this man to help y'all find y'all's missing left flip-flop, much less a husband. First of all, he is not even qualified to assist you in finding or attracting a relationship in a man that would lead to a healthy marriage because he himself is not even married. How can a man that has 2 failed marriages teach men or women how to attain a good one? Now, I am not saying that a person who has been divorced is not capable of helping others learn from his or her mistakes. I am divorced and now happily married for nearly a decade. And I for sure learned a ton of what not to do from that failed marriage. But the thing is, he didn't even learn anything from the mistakes of his first marriage, thus landing himself in a second failed marriage. So then how is he going to help you find your way into a relationship that will not also lead to a failed marriage? And y'all do understand that he believes that a man who is quote unquote high value, that man should be able to cheat whenever he desires to. And that not only should he be allowed to exercise his right to cheat on his wife, but that most certainly he should be exercising that right. So you mean to tell me that this man with these ideas of marriage, that would more than likely find himself in a third failed marriage and take anyone who follows his teachings right along with him, should be leading the charge to help couples come together? Or are you saying, sure, he doesn't know anything about a healthy marriage, but I'm willing to overlook that in order to have a relationship with a man that earns 6 figures or more? Y'all gonna have to explain this to me, because I am literal confusion. The first thing that needs to happen is we need to change the definition of what a high value man actually is. Because to me, y'all got high value all messed up. A man that makes 6 figures or more but has nothing else to offer is not high value. They're high earning. And high earning is very different from high value. Kevin Samuels is not giving y'all the blueprint on how to attract a high value man. He is giving you the blueprint on how to attract a man like himself. But Kevin Samuels is not high value. And furthermore, Kevin Samuels more than likely doesn't even know what an actual high value man is. High value men do not move in the same circles as Kevin Samuels. They would be disgusted by a man such as him. They would not set him out to be the face of the type of man that they are. Not only is he not high value, but he's actually very dangerous. And any man that could have such low value of the women who are the descendants of the woman who gave him life should be feared and avoided. This man does not see you. God created you in his perfect image. But instead of believing him, you believe the lies of a man that places your worth as a 2. This man thinks he can sum up the value of your heart, your intellect, and who you are as a woman by your measurements. He's telling you that you are damaged goods if your body has given life. That if you loved a man and gave him access to your womb and that relationship dissolved, that you are damaged goods and unworthy of care, kindness, and true love. He and men like him are saying to you, how dare you think you are worthy of any man, much less a high value man, when you are so low down and dirty that you have the audacity to be raising a kid alone. There you are over there having a single parent home, raising kids alone, despite the fact that your home was made single by the very man that you are supposed to be valuing. Like, ugh, the nerve of you, you low down dirty dog. Do y'all see how absurd that sounds? So what are y'all doing? My loves, I have a news flash for you that you're probably not gonna like. It's probably a pretty unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. A man's value is not based on his earnings. It's based on his character. It's based on his belief in God. A high value man cherishes marriage and the covenant he creates with his wife. A high value man provides for his family whether he makes 6 figures or not. Instead of deciding if a man is high value based solely on his 6-figure salary, maybe take a look at these 6 qualities that I think an actual high value man possesses. 1, to me, this is the most important. He's a God-fearing man. 2, he is a man of integrity and substance. 3, a hard-working man that will break his back to build with you and for you. 4, a man dedicated to loving and honoring you enough to change your last name. 5, a man that will see your heart and speak to it. 6, a man that makes you feel safe in his love. I'm not talking about physical safety, although a man that loves you will provide that too, but I mean emotional safety, spiritual safety, the safety to give your whole heart because you know that man loves you unconditionally and he reinforces his love for you daily. Now, I'm no relationship guru, dating coach, blue, pink, red, orange pill, dating guide, yoga/diving instructor who specializes in small aircraft piloting. But what I do think is I can give you way more appropriate traits to seek in a man that is to become your husband than Kevin Samuels can. Well, that concludes part 1 of a 2-part series of Kevin Samuels is Not the Authority on High Value Men. Be sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the conclusion. Y'all, be mindful of how you allow others to handle you and forgive yourself for how you handled you. Please consider becoming a part of my village. I think you'll like it here. Until next time.